Okay. So coming to the front of our chair, perching ourselves on the sit bones, closing the eyes, focusing on the breath. And let's make today's practice a practice about gratitude, a practice about thanks. And particularly being thankful for the ability to practice together. And observe the breath. Observe the breath moving into the belly. For those of you who use Ujjayi breath in your practice, you might want to initiate that practice now by just gently constricting the back of the throat. Hearing that soft whispering sound as you expand and contract the lungs and breathe in and out. Lengthening out our exhale breath now. Now, having established that pattern of breath, the deep, full inhales and the long, measured exhales, let's take 5 complete rounds of the breath at our own time and our own pace. Now let's bring our attention to our feet and establish the contact between the feet and the floor. Some of you may be on a hard surface floor, some of you may be on carpet. Whatever surface you're on, press the base of the foot into the floor and raise all 10 toes. Look down at the toes and see if you can spread the toes any amount. Lower the toes back onto the floor. Let's bring the attention to the right foot now and inch the heel of the foot forward by curling the toes under and pulling the heel forward for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then push the heel of the foot back by digging the toes in and pressing back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's do that one more time. Inch the heels forward for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then dig and push back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's go now to the left foot. Look down at the toes, curl the toes in, and draw the heel forward about an inch. Let's repeat that. Pull the heel forward about an inch for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then dig the toes in and push back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's repeat that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and dig in and push back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's come down. Look at the feet, place them about hip distance apart, and draw that imaginary line from the base of the second toe to the center of the ankle, and bring those lines in the right and left foot to parallel. Now, let's stretch the right foot out in front of us, curl the toes in towards the body, and draw the left foot back towards the body. Take both hands onto that left thigh, press down. So you're working the heel of the left foot down towards the floor. As you flex the toes in on the right foot and stretch the back line of the body by working yourself forward. Inhale, come up. Let's draw the right foot now back behind us. Take the hands onto the right thigh. Stretch the left foot out in front. Press the heel down on the right foot as we curl the toes towards the left shin. Push the mound of the left big toe out. And again, feel that stretching in the calf. And also in the shin on the right side. Keep lengthening the spine and folding over the legs. Let's inhale, come back up, draw the feet back to hip distance. Once again, let's stretch the right leg out in front. Perhaps grasp the edge of the chair and lean back slightly towards the back of the chair. I'm going to ask you to first lift the heel away from the floor and then lower, but don't touch the floor as we come back down. Lift for 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Keep breathing here. 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, and 12, and release and draw the feet back parallel. So what we were doing there is working the hip flexor muscles. So you might have felt that in some muscles. I don't think it's an area we've worked too much in the past. So Let's do the same thing now with the left leg, stretching the left leg out towards me and lifting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Come back to the edge of the chair, perch. Move your blocks adjacent to the shins. Lengthen the spine. Draw the sit bones back with the edge of the chair, and perhaps bring the hands to rest on the blocks. But try to, rather, if you notice the spine is rounding forward, particularly if you're curving the thoracic spine, stop at the point where you can, where your forward fold, where to continue deeper into the forward fold requires you to bend the thoracic spine. And as you're folding forward, tighten the muscles of the belly, draw the muscles of the belly towards the back and then towards the spine, and then lift them slightly up towards the lower ribs and see if that allows you to use the core muscles to pull you slightly deeper into this forward fold. Let's inhale, come all the way up, and exhale the hands back to heart center. Let's draw the feet in. Check in with seated mountain again one more time. Inhale here, exhale, interlace the fingers. Take the fingers around the shin on the right side, flex and point the toes. Draw that knee in towards the shoulder. And again, notice if you're rounding towards the back of the chair. If you are, and you can, a good point of feedback on this is whether or not the weight is evenly distributed on front to back on the sit bones. So keep drawing that knee in, and then see if you can hold the knee and release the hands. Breathe here. Let's once again draw the knee back in. Hi, Kathy. Happy Thanksgiving. Hold. Even the weight front to back on the sit bones, and then hold that knee in towards the chest. You can let that leg come down a little bit and then raise and lower the lower leg for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And lower the right leg. Come back to seated mountain and just check in for one breath in seated mountain. Let's go to the non-dominant interlace of the fingers on for the left side. Draw that left knee in and keep working to even the weight front to back on the sit bones to keep the spine long. Keep drawing that knee in and then release and we'll hold. For 3, 4, and 5. And once again, using that non-dominant interlace of the fingers, draw the knee in. See if it'll go just a little deeper now. And then release and hold again. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And lower it a little bit, and now raise and lower the lower leg for 1. And you can always support that leg with the hands. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And let the feet come back. Come back to seated mountain. And let's take one nice deep breath in. And sigh out the exhale through the mouth. So now let's work the adductor and abductor muscles of the legs. We'll begin working the adductors. Yeah, the muscles that bring the legs in towards the center line. So begin by placing the block between the big toes. Now, press that mound of the big toe down into the mat, into the floor, and then squeeze. Squeeze the big toes into the block. Breathe here. Now let's pick the block up, place it at the thighs, and try just palpitate the thighs, or I'm sorry, not the shins, the calves a little bit. Find that point where the muscle is, the calf muscle is the strongest, the thickest. And then let's go into a slight forward fold and press the legs into the block and then release and hold using the adductor muscles to squeeze the legs in towards the center line of the body. Final stop with the block will be between the thighs. So again, about mid-thigh. Squeeze into the block and find the width that's the dimension that's most comfortable for you. Squeeze into the block. Bring the weight even on the right and left sit bones. Squeeze in. And those activate the adductor muscles in the upper part of the leg that give you that inward pressure of the legs. Let's take one more breath here. And let's set our block aside. Find our strap. And let's make a loop in the strap. find that loop that, you can use the strap so that it's not going to, it's stable. It's not going to stretch apart. It's been a lot. We haven't done much looping of the straps for a long time. So I hope your memory of how to set up that loop is still there. So let's take the strap, just wrap the strap. You can take it fairly small. And actually bring it around the big toes. And the flexiband, if you're using a flexiband, just take it around one big toe and then put both parts of the strap under the other foot and hold at the side. Or if you haven't been able to get the loop in the strap, you can do that with the, so now with the strap around the big toes, just, pull the feet apart, but resist with the big, so keep pulling the feet are taking it, going out this way, but we're resisting with the big toes. And now let's just make a little slightly larger loop in the strap. Place it around both feet. So again, going around the toe bases. So let's see it. And then just stretch, take the feet pointing straight up towards the ceiling, and then resist the outer edge of the foot into the strap. So now we're working on the adductor muscles. Or no, abductor, the ones that take the, move whatever limb we're working on away from the central line of the body. So now continue with that loop. And let's take that loop up around the shins. So go back to about the same location you did with the blocks when we squeezed into the center line. And now we're going to squeeze, take the legs out. So now we're using different muscles here. We're using the abductors, the muscles that want to take the legs away from the center line of the body. Final thing we're going to do is move the belt again up onto the thighs, about in that same position as you had them. We're on the outside at the same level as the when you were squeezing into center. And now let's take the legs out towards the side. Let's take another couple of breaths here. And let's release. So keep that loop in the strap, but just set it aside for the moment. We'll do one more bit of work with the legs. And now, since we've just done this work to bring awareness to the adductors and the abductor muscles of the legs, shift your body slightly over towards the right side of the chair, stretch the foot out in front of you, put the toes up towards the ceiling, flex the toes in towards the shin, press the mound of the big toe out, press the heel down, and then drag that leg out towards the side. Inhale and drag it back towards center. Let's go for 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, and 12. Draw the leg in. Let's shift over again towards the other side of the chair. Stretch out. Toes pointing towards the ceiling, flex towards the shin, big toe pushing out, little toe drawing in, heel pressing into the mat, and just reach behind the hamstrings and see if the hamstrings are firing. See if they're firmed up here, they're active, and keep them active as you swing the foot out towards the left side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Draw that leg in and come back to center. Perch on the sit bones and just notice again that connection between the edge of the chair and the sit bones. Even left to right, front to back, stack the spine up, reach the top of the head towards the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Inhale, come back up to center. And since we gave some extra attention today towards the legs in terms of the adductor and abductor muscles, we're going to we'll do that some similar work with the arms. So let's come to seated and take one block between the palms of the hands. Draw the shoulder blades back and then shift the shoulder blades slightly down the back. Lengthen the spine and firm up the core muscles. Firm up particularly the transverse obliques, these muscles that sweep up from the side, and then the muscles that go just across the belly. Firm all those up and lift and squeeze the block. Go up and then release all the way down for 1. And if you want to add some extra resistance, you might take one of your weights between your hands for 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and 6, and 6. So doing that brings to mind something we haven't done for a very long time. And that's bringing 2 blocks end to end, pressing them into each other, stretching the arms out and lifting and lowering them. Now, I'm using my plywood blocks today that I haven't used for a long time. And so if they drop, I hope I can get my toes out of the way before they hit them. Let's lift up for 1. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and 6, and 6, and sit the blocks down. I guess using the plywood blocks focused my concentration, so didn't drop. Take the arms to the side, lift the arms overhead, palms touch, and then bring the hands back to heart center. So again, we're pressing in towards the center line, taking the pressure on the right and the left hand. Take one more breath here. Now, let's go back to that strap with the loop in it. So again, let's set that loop sort of about to the edge of the shoulders, so that when we put the strap around the wrists and stretch the arms out, the arms come about shoulder width apart. Stretch the hands out towards me, with the strap around the wrists, and then just turn the hands slightly out so the fingers are just at a slight angle out towards the side of the room. Inhale, lift the arms, stretch, and push. Draw the shoulder blades down the back and release for 1. 2. Keep pressing the wrists into the strap. 3. 3. 4. 4. 5. 5. 6. 6. 7. 7. And if you're feeling stable, you might even just stand up for this. 8. 8. 9. 9. 10. 10. 11. 11. And 12. And 12. Now just take the strap off the wrist. And let's come up to standing and manipulate your chair so that you're facing the back of the chair. Let's get your props and things organized and out of the way. So let's take those blocks again, and facing the back of the chair, let's take one block between the thighs and one block between the shins. And again, those abductor muscles that we activated and noticed or became more aware of in our seated pose, use those to squeeze everything into center, come to our standing mountain pose, firm everything into center, lift the pubic bone up towards the navel, draw the tailbone down, draw the shoulder blades back and down, and come to standing mountain. And again, let's find the breath here. If the breath might be just a bit raggy or something, just even it out. Let's inhale the arms up overhead. And as we draw the hands down, let's just come and fold over the back of the chair. Any amount, keep squeezing the legs in and bring the attention to that block between the thighs and see if you can move that block behind you any amount. Let's inhale, come back up, remove the blocks, and let's bring the blocks beside, running parallel to the seat of the chair, so you can use one or two blocks. And just come stabilizing yourself on the chair. Let's stand on the blocks and lift that outside leg away from the floor. So the pelvis is level now. And without bending the supporting leg, lower the chair side leg straight down towards the floor. And lift and lower for 2. Lift and lower for 3. Remember that supporting leg is staying. The movement is coming here from the pelvis tilting left and right for 3, 4, 5, and 6. And come back to that pelvis. Try and level the pelvis and really press that supporting leg into the floor. Now, let's lift that front leg forward using those hip flexor muscles that we activated earlier in the practice. And hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So that was hip flexion. Now let's go for hip extension and lift that leg behind us for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back through for flexion. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring it back neutral and then go straight out to the side for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's see, I haven't tried this, but it just occurred to me, it's a bit of a bonus one. See if we can bring that leg up and cross it. And hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And let's release that side, step off the blocks. Let's turn towards the chair and just stretch everything out in downward dog. Remember, you can bend the knees here any amount to take some of that stress out of the lower back. Stretch out, draw the shoulder blades back, head in line with the spine. Breathe here. And walk back in towards the chair. And now, either turn around or move the chair to the opposite side. And let's come now to support ourselves on the opposite leg. Breathe here. And try and bring the hips as close to level as you're able. And lift that foot away from the floor. And then by tilting the pelvis down on the unsupported side, lower and lift the leg for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Use the hip flexors to take the leg in front. Firm everything up right from the base of the foot through the leg, all those adductor and abductor muscles we worked on. Fire everything up, hold, find a focal point and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now take that leg back. Look at, we're now working on hip extension for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forward for flexion again for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back for extension for 1, 2, and remember to keep pulling all those core muscles, firming them up for 5, and then cross that leg over and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, and we forgot to do the lateral movement of the leg. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's step off the blocks. Just take them out of the way here. So we've done a lot of work on muscles that would support us when we come into tree pose. So let's finish off our standing work in tree pose. So lift that outside leg, and you can stay on the toes. Bring the toes, or bring the heels onto the ankle. Bring the foot up onto the calf, or maybe, let's see if it was enough work to stay on the thigh today. Nope. Come on to the calf, open up. Back to center and release. Shake things out. And let's go to the other side for tree. Again, building the foundation in the chair side foot. Lifting the heel, turning out, coming onto the ankle, the calf, or up onto the inner thigh. Coming to center, opening. Back to center. Release the outside leg. Let's turn and face the chair. And our final thing we'll do in standing work, we'll just stretch out in our chair down dog once more. Walk in towards the chair. Flip the chair so we're facing back towards the camera again. Fine. Bring our blocks back to center. Let's take the feet out into a V. Either our blocks are in, we can either have the blocks available. You may or may not need to use them when we forward fold into the space of the V. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. You can bring the hands onto the floor. You can reach them out in front. You can use the blocks. Let's inhale, come all the way up. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale the hands back to heart center. Let's walk the feet back in towards center. Stretch both feet out in front of us. Bring the blocks beside the calves. And there's a couple of variations we can use here in this pose. So we can either use our strap around the feet, around the wrists, so press the feet strongly into the strap, draw back, draw the shoulders out, lift up, and fold forward any amount, keeping the back long and straight. Now, if the back, you can maintain that same long, straight orientation of the back. You can bring the hands onto the blocks and continue to deepen this forward fold, but avoiding that C curve in the thoracic spine. Keep reaching out. Draw the belly in towards the spine, lift it up towards the lowest ribs, and continue in this forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Set your strap aside. Draw the legs in, interlace the fingers. And once again, let's draw that right knee in towards the right shoulder. Hug it in. Release the right knee. And let's pull the left knee in towards the left shoulder. Breathe here. Release both feet onto the floor at hip distance. Inhale the arms overhead. And now we're going to fold over the thighs. So pull the sit bones back with the edge of the chair, tilt the pelvis forward, and come into our forward fold. Fingertips to the floor, to the blocks at any height. And breathe here. Begin to slow the breath down. Prepare for final relaxation. Let's take 3 more full breaths here in this deep forward fold. Two. And 3. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, the left hand to the right outer thigh. The right hand comes behind you on the chair and twist around the axis of the spine towards your right side. Inhale, exhale, twist around the axis of the spine towards the left side of the body as the right hand comes to the outside of the left thigh. One more full breath in. Exhale, come back to center. And now we can shift our weight back in the chair and prepare ourselves for final relaxation. So if it's appropriate, take a drink, add any extra clothing that you need to stay comfortable during final relaxation. Sit back, try and get the seat right back towards the back of the chair. So the spine is still relatively stacked, even though we're using the back of the chair now for some support. Take a nice deep breath in, and as we exhale, relax the control of the breath. If you initiated a new breath practice at the beginning of the class, let go of that practice now. And rather than guiding the breath with the mind, let the breath find its own rhythm. So surrender that control of the breath to the body's control of the breath. Let the muscles, the skin, the bones, the connective tissue become very fluid. And let the limbs flow towards the floor. Bring the attention to the muscles we worked in the legs to direct the force towards center. The abductor muscles, those ones we worked on with the blocks, and moving the legs in towards center. With our focus on those muscles, allow the abductor muscles of the legs to fully relax. Breathe. The abductor muscles of the legs are fully relaxed. But we also use the adductor muscles of the legs. Bring your attention to the adductor muscles of the legs and allow the adductor muscles to fully relax. Breathe. The adductor muscles of the legs are fully relaxed. Today's practice focused on strengthening and bringing awareness to the hips, to the glutes, the hip flexors, and the hip extensors. Bring the attention to all the muscles of the hips, those muscles we used in today's practice, and allow the muscles of the hips to fully relax. Breathe. The hip flexors, the hip extensors, the hip adductors, the hip abductors are fully relaxed. Now let's begin to reconnect by wiggling the fingers and the toes, circling the ankles and the wrists. Shifting back towards the front of our chair, finding our seated mountain pose. Take a nice deep breath in and let's sigh out the exhale with thanks and gratitude. Inhale the arms overhead. Draw the hands back to heart center. And feel a special set of thanks for being able to practice today, for making time for this practice, for sharing our practice with each other. Reflecting the sense of thanks and gratitude that I have in being able to lead you through this practice today. Namaste.